Okay, all right. So today, okay, so again, sorry, good morning, everyone. So as per what I've explained before, today we will have a guest lecturer from UTM, Dr. Fadila. Hi, Dr. Fadila.
Hi, Madam Farhana. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Everyone is better after PKP3. Lebih sihat. Okay, so Dr. Falina she was one of the timbalan dekat Kalam, what is that post call?
Deputy Director of the Center for Urban Environment in the Malay World.
So it's Kalam in Bahasa Melayu, Kajian Alam Bina Melayu at University Technology Malaysia. So today Dr. Falina will share with us on the introduction, a little bit of introduction on how to do measured, basically on data collection and a little bit on report writing. Okay, so we actually also have Dr. Fadina, we have our coordinator here, Architect Zalina. She will join a little bit late, I think, and another lecturer, Architect Muhammad. Yeah, so a little background, the students, they are in third year, first semester. They've been learning via online for almost 2 years, and most of them already went to practical training last semester.
Same like us, we are still running the online studio until now.
Luckily this time they are joining as face-to-face studio, but before this 3 semester online. Okay, so I think we can start now. So I would like to invite Dr. Falina to give her input on the topic.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Farhana. So I'll share my screen first, yeah?
All right.
How do I share the screen?
Do you have any video when you want to share?
I think one of the video will be, I have put it in my presentation.
Okay, because if you want to share video, you have to click, when you click share, there's like one box over there to share computer sound. So you can click that one also.
So I'll stop sharing first, is it?
Stop share first.
Stop share. Okay.
And then click share again.
Optimize for video clip. All right. Okay. Okay, can you see my slideshow, my presentation?
Yes, we can see your screen now.
Right. So, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning, students. I hope everyone is have in a good condition today. All right. So today is only a general overview. I am going to share my experience as one of the supervisor for magic drawings in UTM. Okay, perhaps we can share some of the knowledge together. I want to learn from USM too, and I'll share my experience as a supervisor for UTM. Okay, so my presentation for today is data gathering and report writing for magic drawing. As mentioned by Madam Farhana before this, I am Dr. Fadlina. You can call me Dr. Fad. I am graduated from UTM and my PhD also from UTM. And my niche area is more on the vernacular architecture, heritage and conservation. And some of my experience before this, I was the contract lecturer in UITM Sri Iskandar Perak. And then I joined UTM on 2017 until now. And I was the Deputy Director of Pusat Kajian Alam Bina Dunia Melayu. We have the Center for the Study of Built Environment in the Malay World in UTM, which we call as Kalam. All right. And I am now the Program Coordinator for Bachelor of Science in Architecture with Honours. And I have been supervising magic drawing in UTM since 2017 until now. But unfortunately, for this 2 years time, we cannot get the permission to go to the site. So we changed the magic drawing into the monograph publication instead of going to site. So what I'm going to share here is more on the how to do the data gathering on site and how to do the report writing. But it will be only a brief and general overview only, right? Okay. So first thing first, I think you are going to do your magic drawing this semester, right? Or I think this week, is it? Is it, Madam Farhana? The students are going to the site.
Yeah, but actually one of the group already is at site today. They're not joining the talk, they will watch the YouTube later.
All right,
So
okay,
it depends on the group.
Right, so basically this one is more on the things that you are going to do on your site later, right? Okay, I'll start with this one. Keep calm and love history. So this one is perhaps our main intention before we go into the deeper understanding of the magic drawing itself. We need to set up the intention. We want to know, to learn about the history. This one is another images showing my students were enjoying themselves next to their magic drawing buildings. I think this one they have taken these images during the Independent Day last 2 years. Okay, why do we need to learn about the history? I'll start with the introduction first. To understand at the present and anticipate the future, one must know enough of the past, enough to have a sense of history of people. And also another quote by Robert Penn Warren: history cannot give us program for the future, but it can give a fuller understanding of ourselves and our common humanity so that we can better face the future. Means that why do we want to learn about magic drawing? Okay, why do we need to learn about the history? Because we want to know who are the previous who we want to know about us, okay, the past, the history that we have gone through, the strength that we need to focus more on, and the weaknesses or the things that we have been mistaken before this, we try to avoid that thing. So that's why we need to learn about the history. Okay, what is heritage? Can somebody tell me what is heritage? Can I ask the students?
Yes, you can pick their names.
I'm not really.
Maybe we can ask. Jingwen.
I just want to know whether you know before you go to your magic drawing, if there anything that you have read that comes into your mind before you start this thing.
Hello, is Jingwen there?
Victory?
Oh, I'll ask. Hi, Magan.
Yes. Any thoughts?
Hello, madam.
Okay, so what is heritage?
Heritage. I think heritage is something that built in the past, and we preserve it now and for the future. Something that we think valuable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who is that?
Magan.
Magan. Okay, Morgan, good try. I think
thank you, madam.
it is almost there, right? It is a continuity of cultural memory, which refers to activities that have been practiced by the early people in relation to their daily lifestyle. Okay, as a history, tradition, and qualities that a country or society has had for many years. And it is also considered a special sense of belonging or particular person of community derived from inheritance and the power of continuity from one generation to the next generation. Okay, so it means that something which is traditionally has been passed over and over by some generation to the younger generation. Okay, and then that is the thing that we need to remain. If not, they are going to vanish it somewhere, right? Okay, this one is also some of the general knowledge about the heritage. It can be divided into two categories, which is the tangible and intangible heritage. Okay, if you can see from here, tangible heritage is something that we can see, we can touch, and so on, right? For instance, this one is it can be found on the historic quarter, including old building, archaeological site, and also cultural landscape, right? So most of these kind of physical things that we can see and we can touch it, it can be called as tangible and intangible heritage, something that we preserve from the tradition, right? And then another one, it is called as intangible heritage. We cannot count it. Okay. This one is example of other traditional culture, language, folklore, custom, ritual, and religious belief that were practiced and performed by the local community of the place. If you can see from the example that I have given here, this one is a traditional performance And then this one, we have this traditional cuisine. Okay, and also we have this traditional performance of wayang kulit. So this one is all is called as intangible heritage. Okay. All right, so we move to our topic on the data gathering. All right, so this is the content of the presentation for today. We'll start with the introduction first, and then the second one is the process of getting the data for your measured drawing, and also the product. Okay, mind you that this one is basically based on my own experience as in UTM. Okay, perhaps your lecturers, Miss Farhana or Azarina or M Muhammad, you have your own format for USM, right? So I am only sharing our experience from UTM. Okay, what is measured drawing? This one is another question for the students. Can I pick names?
Okay, so next is Rafika.
Rafika. Okay, what do you know about the measured drawing? You are going to do the measured drawing this week, right? So perhaps until today you are already familiar with this term.
Rafika, you there? I should take students' attendance now. Hi, Rafika.
Hello, madam.
Huh.
Yes,
What is
yes.
measured drawing?
Maybe like actually drawing that drawing scale.
Discussion.
Hello?
Are you talking to us?
Yeah.
Dr. Fadlina.
Yes, yes. Siapa tu?
Okay,
Muhammad
TM.
here.
Oh, Muhammad. Hi.
Yeah, thank you
Nice
for
to meet
joining
you.
us. Thank you for joining us today. I'm not feeling
Thank-
well, that's why I'm not chasing all my work.
It's okay. My pleasure to share the experience
Thank
with
you.
you guys.
So I will be joining you today. Just
Mhm.
keep me up. I just listen to what you say.
It's okay, it's okay.
Thank
Nice to
you.
meet you, Muhammad.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So, Rafika, are you there?
Hello?
Right. Okay. Yes, yes. Are you talking?
Yeah, can you hear me clearly?
Can.
Tak dengar lah Rafika. Siapa cakap tak, mic you tak bergerak pun tu.
Oh, sorry. Sekejap.
Apalah, I think mic problem kot. Okay, apa tadi? Okay,
Okay.
Zainab. Hi, Zainab.
Hello, madam.
Hi, so what is measured drawing?
Measured
Have
drawing is it's like how we know the existing building more detail and based on the accurate site and the object, the detail of the building lah. Basically.
Okay. I think it's almost there. Right. Definition of measured drawing. Architectural scale drawing of an existing structure means that the structure is already there, and then you go there and then you measure it and you put into your documentation. And it can be a plan or drawing constructed to accurate measurement of the things represented, like you said, right? It is a traditional way in which architects learn through close observation and recording of architectural form, proportion, materials, and details. So those are the things that you need to know about your measured drawings building after this. You need to record all these findings in terms of the architectural form, proportion, materials, and details, and so on. And then it is beyond this, not only this one. Okay, these are the traditional. I think this one is quite traditional equipment used for measured drawing nowadays. Okay, because nowadays we also have this technology, something like GIS and so on. But this one we usually use for the students to learn more in detail and in more easiest way. Okay. Why do we need to do architectural historic preservation? Okay, the first one, for the education purposes, it is for the 3D learning experience. Okay, for instance, you have this kind of historical building, nobody has documented it before, and then you go there and then you do all this kind of measurement, something like this one. They are trying to rub pattern so that they can document this pattern into 3D model. Okay, and then this one is also same like your studio's project, but your studio project you are going to design your own building and then you do the 3D model, but this one it is basically based on whatever that has been existing now. Okay, and then for the recreational purpose, it is more on the heritage appreciation. Like I said before, why do we need to learn about the heritage and the traditional things so that we can appreciate more on that one. Okay, and then on the inspiration in terms of patriotism, sense of belonging, and strengthen the identity of people and nation. For instance, okay, not only from Malaysia, I think some of you are coming from different countries, right? So you also have your own identity and your own based on your own origin. So you need to know what are the identity of your particular space and your particular nation, right? Measured drawing, okay, is always related to the values, including there are several values included in measured drawing. For instance, we have these architectural values that we want to infill in you guys, students. Okay, architectural values, heritage values, you need to know about the cultural values, social values, aesthetic values, historical values, and the values of sense and place. Okay, so we are not only focusing on the architectural values only, but you need to know all of these things in general, all right? Okay, issues that are commonly faced by historical building. So that's why we need to do all this measure drawing and so on. Okay, for instance, this building, it is a rumah tradisional Melaka traditional house, which is located in Kampung Rim, Melaka, Jasin. I have visited this building on 2013. If you can see from this building, you can see the color of this window is still intact. It is although it is also already abandoned during this 2013, but it is still intact. Okay, but due to the physical damage due to the climatic and environmental effect like weather, earthquake, earth movement, or very rainy season, and so on, man-made damages like war, vandalism, traffic vibration, fire, and etc. So this one is, I just want to show the comparison between my visit on 2012 and another visit on 2017. Okay, if you can see this one, the color is not there anymore, and then surprisingly the wall is not there anymore. Okay, so I don't know what happened now, because after the MCO for 2 years, what already happened to these abandoned traditional houses. So I think I will have a visit later on to know what is the current condition of this house. So it is a very unfortunate event, because it is a very, I think this one is a very nice building, but we cannot afford to manage it. Okay, right? Okay, and then another one, it is due to why do we need to do the preservation or measured drawing first, because it is some of the building is in poor maintenance. All right, for instance, this one is our measured drawing during 2018 in Madrasah Al-Latifiyah Kampung Gajah Perak. Okay, this one it is a madrasah. They use it for madrasah and also as a learning center to recite Al-Quran, and then they usually they also ask the religious preachers to come here, and then they stay up here so that the villagers can come and learn about Islam religion and so on. All right, but this one is the condition during 2018. This one is a condition during on the upper part of this one. But until now, they are still using this lower part as the kindergarten. All right, but I just want to show how the things will ruin everything if there are poor maintenance because of this conflict in terms of the financial constraints and so on. Okay, right. And then some of the buildings, it has been neglected. For instance, this one. Okay. This one is another example of how the building, if they neglected the building. This example is taken from Malacca traditional house in Kampung Tanjung Rimau. This one is also done during my field study on 2013. Okay, so the houses is surrounded by all these bushes, and from far we cannot really appreciate the small details of the house, which is very unfortunate. Okay. If you are studying more about the Malacca traditional houses, it is the only state in Malaysia that have this kind of concrete staircase, and it has a lot of influence from all over the world. For instance, for this kind of roof, they have this motif of fish over there, and then at the middle of this roof ridge, they have this kind of crown motif. Okay, and then if you can see from here, this one is another prominent features in Malacca traditional houses. They have this concrete, the colorful concrete tiles on their concrete staircase. Okay, and this one usually they imported it from during my study. I found out it is imported from the Belgium, Japan, and so on. Okay, so Malacca has a very rich influence from all over the world, as it has the business of trading before this, right? And then this one, right? Okay, this one is another reason why we need to do measure drawing, because some of the traditional house has been demolished and replaced. Okay, this one is one of another example of what we do for our measure drawing on 2018. We have the Rumah Batu Haji Wahid Ruwas, Perak. Okay, and also it is owned by a businessman who did the business of tin mining. Okay, they have this factory of tin mining beside this house. Okay, but you see how is the condition during the measure drawing that we did. Okay, because of their poor maintenance, and there are nobody to take care of this house, so there are a lot of beds over here. And then but alhamdulillah, we managed to do the measure drawing. Okay, but during 2019, I think this house has been moved to Pulau Pinang. I'm not sure whether it has been because it has been disassembled in Beruas. I'm not sure whether it has been assembled in Pulau Pinang, but they said that it has been bought by somebody to be built in Pulau Pinang. Okay, and then you need to know that that is the specialties of Malay traditional house, because it didn't use any nails and it can be disassembled and assembled back, right? And some of the building, they have been demolished, and because they want to do, for instance, sorry, can you hear the sound? Okay, this is example of a surau at Pangkalan Cepa Airport. I think Madam Farhana knows about this building because it has been used for years. But in 2020, I think several months ago, it has been demolished because they want to make the bigger land of Pangkalan Cepa Airport. Okay, so some of the nearby residents, they did not disagree. They do not agree about this action of demolish these things because it has been one of their memories, their childhood memories when they uh, use this surau for daily prayers and so on. Okay, so that's how things become very unfortunate. We cannot save the heritage building and so on. But this one is it has something like contradicting in terms of the way they told about it. For instance, half of the timber has been disassembled, and the one that they use the tractor to demolish it, it is only a concrete part of this surau. Okay. Alright, so that one is only why the introduction actually. Okay, why do we need to do the magic drawing and so on before all the heritage building, traditional building will be vanished. So we need to do the documentation. Alright. Okay, this one is more on the process. As I said, I will only share about my experience in UTM. Okay, because I have been involved in UTM Magic Drawing since 2017. So these are the things that we did. For instance, we have more than currently we have more than 600 building documented, and we save it in Kalam. Like I said before, Pusat Kajian Alam Bina Dunia Melayu Kalam. So all the documents and compilation of the magic drawing is saved over there. And it is comprises of mosques, shop houses, temples, church, school, government quarters, administration offices, palaces, and so on. Okay, and we also has done the magic drawing throughout Malaysia, and we managed to do it in South Thailand, North Sulawesi, South Sulawesi, and Cambodia. We did in right, but and another thing, I just want to share for magic drawing in UTM, we have two separate subjects, which is the magic drawing, the poster, the drawings, and so on. And then we have another subject which is called as heritage studies, comprises of 3 credits. With this one is involved with the report writing and so on. And we taught the subject during short semester. So the students do not have any other subject except for this magic drawing and heritage studies only. So they can focus more on this magic drawings. And you can see the list of major drawings until 2018 from this Kalam website. I think after this you can go through this website to know what are the buildings that we have measured. Okay, so the images is showing the major drawing that we did in Madrasah Kamaliyah and Masjid Panglima Kinta, Ipoh, Perak in 2018 before the pandemic. Okay. And then that one is introduction. So we go to the fieldwork and data collection. So this one is only example on the houses that we have chosen as our major drawing. This one is Villa Street View, Johor Bahru in 2019. Okay, we have this kind of house which is owned by the royalty of Johor. So if you are doing your major drawing after this, you will need to know who are the owners of the house, even the original owners of the house, and then it is inheritance to whom and so on. Because for this one, we also have some difficulties in terms of getting the data because it is owned by the member of Johor Royal. Okay, so some of the information it is very private and confidential, and they cannot share it to us. So some students was struggling, but Alhamdulillah we managed to do it on time, and we seek help from several people to get this information, right? Right. So this one is more on the field work. What do you need before you go to the field work? You need your computer, your printer, your extension wire, your stationaries, kettle, rice cooker, sleeping bag, pillow, proper attire, and so on. Okay, this one because we usually will ask the students to to stay at the particular measured drawing building. For instance, we are doing it on, we are traveling from Johor to Perak. Okay, so we use UTM bus, and the students need to equip themselves with their belongings for 2 weeks. Okay, usually we will go to site for 2 weeks, and then we will have two visit by the lecturers. Mind you, when you are going to your site later, you are your university ambassadors. For instance, you are the ambassadors of USM, University Science Malaysia, right? So you need to behave well, dress appropriately, respect the villages or nearby communities, ask permission if you want to know about the information and so on, and don't stay up late. Usually, but it depends on the magic drawing building that you have chosen. For instance, you are doing it on the urban area, for instance, so you don't have to get to meet all the villages and so on. Okay. Fieldwork. This one is on the fieldwork. Okay. This is the explanation of the fieldwork. It compasses any activities which collects data about a site, and the objective of fieldwork is accurate gathering of significant dimensional and representative data. It includes shooting field photographs and checking various records against the site, and often armed with nothing more than pencil, papers, cameras, and measuring tools. Okay, so that's why we need to have this kind of field work. Instead only doing this virtual work, we cannot get the exact accurate measurement of this particular building. And also, if we do it from online, from virtual desk research only, we cannot really get the first-hand experience from the nearby communities, for instance. Okay. On safety measure, it is always your responsibility to look around, think ahead, and use common sense because you are doing it in somebody else's properties. A few reminders as listed below. Work clothes such as jeans and shoes and hard hats, if any. Okay, because this one is to avoid any incidents. All right. And if you are doing it in deteriorated structures, don't go out into structures that are obviously deteriorated and unsound. Never enter dilapidated buildings alone, and always use light in darkness area. Don't assume all wiring is dead. Okay, so you need to be careful, especially when you are dealing with this kind of buildings. And do not work alone, especially for the girls. All right, so you need to take care of each other because you are doing it in group work, right? For instance, like this one, like I said before, if this building is very old and it is an abandoned building, and you need to do the measuring of this particular building, so please take care of yourself, right? Please work in groups and so on. And if you are trying to step on this kind of area, for instance, this exposed area or this kind of exposed area, please be careful, right? So or what you can do is you can use this digital measuring equipment from your phone to get the exact measurement of this part, for instance, so you don't have to step on this particular space, which is very dangerous. Okay, so you need to make sure of this thing, the safety measure. All right, and on site, okay, this is the thing, okay, the steps that you need to, that perhaps you can use these tips and trick in doing your measure drawing later, right? For instance, you will have your first-hand experience. Get to know your building first before start measuring. You need to know the location, surrounding context, current condition, and etc. For instance, where is the location of that particular building? For instance, for the first one, it is a Kelantan traditional Chinese house, and it is located near the beach. And what are the things that they do in their design strategies in order for them to make sure that it is suitable to be in next to the beach and so on, right? So this one, before you go to the site, you can also try to find it online, right? Okay, and then you need to know and understand changes to your building first before start measuring. For instance, there are development of the building. For instance, it was built in 1870, and then it has undergone the first renovation in 90. And then your second renovation is done in 1910, and the third renovation is in 1990. So you will need to have this kind of chronological, or you need to provide this timeline. For instance, okay, on the 1996, here is the plan of the house, for instance. And then on the 1736, they have already extends the surrounding area, for instance, because of and you need to know why they need to do the renovation. Perhaps they want to fulfill the requirement of the extra family members. Somebody is married in their families, and then they have the children, like they have babies and so on, and then they need to extend their plan, for instance. And then let's say on 2018, they have already added some concrete column and also concrete wall underneath the house. Okay, so you need to know what are the renovation, and where is the affected spaces, and also when is it. Okay. And then, okay, this one is get to know your site first, like I said before. Perhaps before you go to the site, you can do the site overview. Perhaps you could use your Google Satellite, Google Street View, physical maps, and so on before going to the site. Okay. And then you also need to know about the history of the site, walk around the site, and so on, right? The history of the site you also can get from online sources, because usually the measured drawing buildings that we have chosen, usually it is more on the very historical building, and it is perhaps the place is very well known of its historical evidence and so on. So somebody must already put some of the resources on the online internet. Okay, so go through the history of the site from the online first before you go to the site. And then to know the boundary of the site, get a copy of grant tanah or land title from owner of the house, or you can get it from the land office, pejabat tanah daerah. Okay, just to know where is the exact location of that particular house, so that you can create this kind of site plan. Okay, the first one is this. This one is location plan. So the house is located in Jalan Langgar, okay, Alustar. And then this one is the site plan. So you know the exact, you need to know the exact boundary of this particular house. Okay, to check the boundary, look for boundary marker, boundary stone, and etc. For instance, this one is the Pelan Tapak Madrasah Tuk Janggut, which was built in 1920. Pekan Langgar, Alustar, Kedah. Okay, so all right. Another thing, when we choose our measure drawing, we usually have to make sure that the building that we have chosen is really, perhaps really special in terms of the architecture of the house, for instance, or it has a very significant historical value. Okay, not only aesthetical value. For instance, this one, we have chosen this one because of the uniqueness of this particular house, is because the madrasah and the house is combined together. Okay, because the owner of the house is the one of the religious preachers who has taught the villagers on religious teachings and so on. So so he combined his house with this madrasah. So we can see the function of this house. It is very special because it has directly related to Islamic teachings and so on. Okay. Right. All right. So these are the, usually we require you to know the history of the site, the geography of the site. Geography means that perhaps you need to know what is the type topography of particular site. For instance, is it located on a hill, or is it located next to the river, or is it located next to the beach? Okay. And then the socio-economy, what do they live, they do in their daily life? What are the main resources for them? Are they fishing? Are they doing the rice cultivation and so on? Okay. Are they rubber tappers, right? So you need to know what is the common trait of all these people who are living nearby. Okay. And then you need to know also the show culture of particular communities, and also their settlement. Okay. And for the measure drawing, you are very dependent on this one, primary and secondary sources. For primary sources, you get it from the field studies based on the interview with the house owners, neighbors, relative, headman, historian, craftsman, carpenters, woodcarvers, tukang, local authority, and so on. Alright, so make sure when you do your measured drawing later, you are going to interview all these related people to know more about your building. Okay, if not, you are lack of data if you don't do this interview session, right? And then you have your secondary sources. You will do this literature review from books, newspaper cutting, document letters, archival materials, and you need to do a visit to pejabat tanah and the authority buildings and so on. These are the examples that we did in our measured drawing. How we interview the house owners. Okay, we have the interview with these local people, the residents, the nearby residents, and so on. Okay, to get to know better about our house, right? And we also can get some of the information from the historical activists, because for the historian, they know better about the history of particular site and so on. Okay. All right. So on your report writing, this is our expectation on our report writings. Building typology based on original function. For instance, if we are choosing the measured drawing building later, we need to know what is the original function of that particular building. For instance, it was once used as madrasah, but now it has been used as a kindergarten, for instance. But we will do the measured drawing based on its original function, which is the madrasah. Okay. And our building name will be based on the main owner or original owner of the building usually. For instance, that's why if you see our measured drawing, we also name the building such as Rumah Hajah Salimah, for instance, because Hajah Salimah is the main owner of the house. Okay, we do not take the current owner of the house because it is inheritance from the older generation. And the year of building being constructed. Okay, so we need to know what is the origin and the year of being constructed, and also the year of building in its glorious era. Okay, glorious era means that the building has become very well known at a particular year. For instance, for madrasah, there is one particular year that it becoming very well known to the villagers. So sometimes we document the building based on that because it has been covered and people already know about the history of the particular madrasah, for instance. So our measured drawing will be based on this glorious era. And we need to know the original condition before any renovation, and also building ownership inheritance. For instance, we usually will do the family tree of that particular owners. For instance, who is the grandfather and then who is the great grandfather. Perhaps we can get it from the newer generation of this house. Okay, and it is need to be on this actual fact. Okay, and there will be some challenges for abandoned building. I'm not sure whether you are going to do some abandoned building or you are going to do quite a new building. Okay, but for us, before this, because we also do some of this abandoned building, some of the building has change of name, change of function, like I said before. And some of the buildings are in dreadful condition. It is very bad condition. Sometimes we cannot step into the building, and then it need to find relative for information. So this one is quite hard because usually the relative has already migrated to the urban area and so on. So that's why some of the information we cannot get directly from the surrounding. And there is also conflict of facts. For instance, somebody is telling you that the house was constructed in 1920, but somebody else is talking about the house is built on 1930. So it has conflict of facts. But in this case, your responsibility is only reporting. So you need to put in your report writing, you need to tell that okay, this the headman of the village stated that the house was constructed in 1920. However, the relatives say that it was built in 1930, right? So you need to report both. You cannot assume that one is right, okay? But you need to report both, and then you need to mention who said that, okay? And then for the data gathering, uh, you need to know the typology, form, spatial arrangement of the building, ornamentation, any decoration, material, construction process, space ambience, function for spaces, furnitures, and interior spaces, if you can get there. And based on your observation, you need to know the culture of that particular area or particular site. Okay, and then you need to know the lifestyle and daily activities or routines of surrounding context and the communities that surround the building and also environment aspect. Okay, and all this data gathering you can get from old photograph, old drawings. Okay, if you go to one particular building to be measured, try to find out this kind of resources. You can ask permission from the house owners to get all these old photograph, old drawings, land letter, any will from the great grandfather, for instance. There was a will to let go the house to the newer generation, for instance. Journal writings, diaries, postcard, newspaper articles, brochures, heritage trails, and so on. So all these things you need to ask permission from the owner of the building. Okay, if it is very good if you can get all these things so that it can your report writing will be more rich in terms of the information. Okay, all right. Are you there, students? You okay, guys?
You boleh ask questions.
If you want to ask question, you can just type on the chat box, right? Okay, common mistake when you do your report writing. Some of the writings that we checked before this, perhaps it is unclear writing because of lack of, I think some of the students, they just do it for the sake of submitting the assignment. So that is very unfortunate because that's why it is become unclear, right? And also, this one is also a common mistake, emotional writing based on assumption, prejudice, and etc. Like I said before, your responsibility, your roles is only on to report. You cannot do the writing based your own assumption. Okay. The use of inaccurate terminologies. Okay, this one is a very common mistake perhaps, especially when you do the measure drawing in English and you do not know what is terminology in Bahasa Melayu, for instance. Okay, or there are a lot of terminologies of decoration in different region, for instance. Okay, so perhaps you are not really sure about the terminologies. Irrelevant and lengthy literature reviews. Okay, there are a lot of literature reviews that you referred to, but some of them are irrelevant, but you tend to put everything in your report just to make sure that it will be very thick, for instance. Okay, so try to avoid this kind of mistake. Writing without references, this one is very obvious. Okay, even the introduction, you need to put your references. For instance, you need to put like this, the citation. Fadlina 2009 is saying, so you need to put what are the statement that she said, for instance. Weak in architecture description. Okay, this one, how to overcome this weak in architecture description, you need to read a lot. Okay, if you don't read, you do not know, you are lacking of you are lacking of terminologies, you don't know what is the accurate terms of each specific buildings and so on. So try to read a lot and read a lot of academic writings, for instance, basically based on your specific topics. Okay, that one is on the data gathering. So when you are on your site, when you reach your site, usually you will start your measured drawing with sketching. Okay, usually we will start with the site plans and then we'll do the elevation plan and also section. And usually we also do the measurement together with the sketches. So for instance, this one is the detailings of a truss, right? So we also has taken the consideration of the measurement too, right? This is the first thing when you reach your site later. You need to sketch. Okay, and then I think this one has been mentioned before this. You need to know your boundaries, topography, what is there any trees, shrub, plants, okay? And also if the site is located at historical area, you need to know the development of the building and so on. Perhaps you need to know the morphology of the building surrounded this site. Okay. This one is another example of how to do the floor plan. Okay, we usually will start with the outline first, working outside the building. Okay, and then after that we add opening like windows, doors, external and etc. And then we started to do the inside of the building, begins with room and etc. And you need to show the thickness of the wall because you are doing the measured drawing things. All right, so everything must be measured. We need to know what the accurate measurement or dimension for each space. All right. And this one is the elevation. Principal facade of structure, sketch the elevation from a distance. Okay, when you reach your measured drawing buildings, you take some distance and then you start to draw the elevation. Okay, the first time to go on paper should be the if lines, which is horizontal, and then you try to do the vertical wall and mark the ground line and add details such as doors, windows, water pipes and etc. Okay, this one also you can try to imagine the scale of the proportion of each element. For instance, how big is the two lift door? How big is the one lift door? Okay, it is different from each other, right? So try to exercise more on this scale and proportion in your sketches. Okay, and then this one is for the section. You can also try to sketch your section, the height of each story building, relative level, the shape and construction of the roofs. Try to draw the staircase, height of windows and window seat, etc. And try to do the roof plan. Okay. Usually some of the students, they started using this roof plan using the Google satellite, and then they get this roof plan. Okay, so perhaps this is one of these advantages of this new technology using Google satellite, and then they can or also you can also use drones, right? You can, I think USM has this kind of drones to be rented to the students and so on. So you can use drones to indicate the roof plan. Okay, this one is also on the measurement. Okay, sometimes we also use this kind of help from the bomber to get to the bomber give us permission to use the train to get into the top of this building. Okay. Okay, on the detailings, it may include significant architectural details such as molding, profile, cornice, columns, doors, windows, covering, and etc. This one is also you need to really go into details because this is a small detailings that is very beautiful and you need to appreciate it more. Okay, for instance, this kind of we have this kind of surface modulation or ornaments on walls. And also we have this a lot of patterns on the staircase railing, for instance. And we use these traditional techniques of rubbings. Rubbings techniques on butter papers for motif and patterns. Like this one, we try to rub this area, and then we got this pattern, and then we transfer it in your 3D model. Okay, I know you already know how to do this one, because usually you use your AutoCAD and Revit for your studio project, right? So it is the same thing. You can just trace back in AutoCAD later, right? Okay, this one is example of lecturers on site and data validation. Usually we will have a visit to the measured drawing buildings for 2 times. Usually we will come at the beginning of the first week, and then before they coming back to UTM. Okay, because we have to make sure that everything, every information is there already before they come back to our campus. Okay, for the first one, we have this this uncle is a historian. This one is in Beruas. We do the presentation in a mosque. Okay, the second one, we did the presentation in a madrasah. This one is Madrasah Kamaliyah, next to Masjid Panglima Kinta, Ipoh. Okay, so we ask the students to present whatever they have got in their site, and then we the villagers will validate the data, whether it is true or not, whether it's correct or not. All right. This one is another one is Madrasah Al Latifiyah. Okay, we also have we check the drawings before they came back to UTM. This one is also we learn from the villagers, so they can comment on whatever data that they have got, especially on the reports. Okay, because they know better about their area. Okay, so preparing for submission. This one after they came back to UTM, so we started to check back whatever they did for their drawings and so on. Okay, this one is basically like I said before, they do the rubbings and then they turn it into AutoCAD drawings. All right, and then these are the example of the drawing that they have contributed. And then this one example of a poster that we request them to do. Okay, so in UTM we have these several submissions such as poster. They need to do the model, they need to do the report, and also the videos presentation. Okay, so these are the expected summary that from the report that they change into the poster presentation. This one is another example. This one is we did it in Cambodia. Okay, and then all right, this one is another. This one is an example of model submission. Masjid Khairiyah Lenggeng Negeri Sembilan, from the actual building. So we did the model. This one is Rumah Kedai Wakaf Tun Puan Saripah. This one, if you can see, it is an abandoned building with this a lot of trees has covered up this area. But because this Kampung Kuchai area, it is very historical, and now it is already abandoned because it is situated in an urban area in Ipoh. Okay. This one is Masjid Panglima Kinta. We did they did the model using the 3D printing and laser cutting. But okay, for this one, for this menara, I think because they are using the 3D printing, it is quite costly. The menara itself has cost them about 250. Okay, and then a small detail they use the laser cutting and so on. Okay. This one is another example, the one that we did the discussion with the villages before this, Madrasah Kamaliyah. Okay, and then this one is Sekolah Melayu Kampung Kuchai, Ipoh, also in 2017. Okay, I think that's all. So you will need to know your roles and responsibilities now. It is not just a simple assignment for you guys. Okay, you will be a major contributor to the documentation of Malaysian architectural heritage. So it is a very big role, and you need to take the responsibility very eagerly. All right. So I think that's all from me. Thank you very much and all the best for your magic drawing later. Okay.
Thank you so much. Hi.
Yes. How do I
Thank you so
start?
much, Dr. Fana. It's very interesting input. And suddenly you flashback of all the memories at UTM. Okay, students, do you have any questions to Dr. Fadlina? They haven't started doing their measure yet. Once they started, there must be a lot of questions.
Tak apa. It's okay. I think you know what to do now. I think
Yeah.
try to be familiar what are the things that you need to fulfill for this assignment. Like I said before, don't treat it like just and a simple assignment. You are the one of the main contributor of the heritage preservation in Malaysia. Okay, so your role is very big actually.
Okay, I think there's no question, and never mind. We've recorded this. I hope you can don't take it for granted. Okay, you can always watch again the video at YouTube. I already shared the link at our e-learning.
Okay, guys. I think all the best.
Thank you so much, Dr. Fadlina. Okay, before that, let's have a very fast group photo. Okay, everyone, please switch on your camera. Hi. Do I need to call everyone's name? Please switch on your camera, guys. Guys, Haziq and Yuki. Please switch on camera.
They are very shy today, perhaps.
They've been having like online classes for a few semesters. Faster. Time is money. Hey, Laila, you want to see your face? I can only see your tudung, the tip of your tudung. Okay. ARM ada ke? Maybe she's not feeling well. All right. Okay. So I'll take a picture now. All right, smile. Atira, can we see your photo? It's blurry. Hi, Atira. Okay. Morning. Okay, 1G, we cannot see your face. Okay, smile. Make sure your face, we don't want to see just eyes and nose. Okay, 1, 2, smile. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Fadlina.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Farina.
Welcome. All the best. Good luck. Bye.
Bye. So students, don't go yet. RM, are you there? RM's not there anymore. Okay, so how many of you already got updates from the building owner or manager? Other than group 1? Group 2, 3, 4, 5, any update? Please just switch on your mic, okay? Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Minya.
We are from group 2, so still waiting for the confirmation.
Did you call to follow up?
Yes, yesterday, but they asked us to call by today again.
Okay, so call just after this, okay? After the
Yes,
class,
yes,
directly
yes.
call them. I think all of you already went to practical. You know how people work. Okay, there's a lot. You know how you work.
Yes.
So there's a lot of things. So of course we have to keep on follow up with them. Okay. So group 2 follow up today. So update on the follow up status at the end of after you call. Basically after you call, just update. Group 3. Sorry, group 2. What building? At Hafal.
However, agama Islam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Update by today. Group 3. Group 3.
Madam.
Hi.
So for our group, the first building is number 32 mentioned, but then the owner turned down our application.
Okay.
So we already discussed with AR Zalina, and AR give us about 4 lists. And then in the 4 lists, the first one is Teh Bunga. The first one is Teh Bunga. And we already send email and also letters for application to Jabatan, because it's a museum, and to under Jabatan Warisan. But then the place is under renovation, so we cannot do, we are not given the permission to do the measured drawing there.
Okay.
And now we now we are trying for Syed Al Hadis house, and maybe the last Syed Al Hadis. Syed Al Hadis. And then maybe we are not sure too, because we are still waiting for the confirmation. And the next on list is Senagara and also Lim Kongsi house. So basically we are still waiting for permission lah, and call back from Jabatan Warisan. That's all for our group so far.
All right. Okay. Nanti I follow up. Nanti so basically, do you think that you can get the Syekh Al Hadi punya house too? You get any vibe, positive vibe ke? Ada ke?
Hopefully. Hopefully.
But for now, did you call them?
Actually, KG has already contacted them, but we're still waiting for their response.
But the way they talk during the call, is it like nampak macam positive or like cold ke?
Not sure, because that is KG.
KG. Mana KG? KG. Apa nama penuh KG? KG not here.
I think he left the meeting.
Oh. Panggil balik.
But I think we will get the update maybe by this Wednesday. We are not sure yet, because it seems very difficult, because it's under Jabatan Warisan. So yeah.
No, why I asked, because instead of try to approach one by one, you could just try approach all 4. Okay, first one already out, right?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Just approach all, because it's already 3rd week kan, dah 3rd week. So yeah, time is running out. So, okay, group 3 on that. Thank you, Fikri.
All right, thank you, madam.
Group 4. No, group 4. Hi guys, group 4 siapa? Kenapa kena panggil banyak kali? Because already 21 kan years old.
Madam, we
Yeah.
went to CIMB and they told us that they will give us a response back, but so far no response. Today, Jibon is going there again to see if they are gonna let us or not.
So what is the building tadi? Sorry, what is the building?
CIMB.
CIMB. So, so this is already third week. What's the latest response or update by them?
Still no response.
Still no
No
response.
response. Because
all?
like last week they tell us that they will call us, and then yesterday I do call them again, but then they didn't pick up the call. So today I'm going straight away face to face to the CIMB bank and see their response. No?
Okay, so try to push them. You know how to push, right? So okay, don't push macam jangan kasar lah kan. So basically, you just say you need the answer as soon as possible because you have to start to do the measuring, etc. It's already third week, etc. lah. Okay.
Okay.
So because if not, you can just contact ARZ and try to get other buildings.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Javon and Mustafa. Group 5. There's another bomber, right? Hello, who's in group 5? There's group leader for all groups, kan?
Madam.
Yeah.
Supposingly, my group is group 5.
Oh, Mustafa is answering for group 5.
Yeah.
So who's group 4?
Group 4 is Penang Going Temple.
Okay. You're in group 4, is it?
Yep.
Okay.
Leader is Khairul Anwar. And already got the permission last Friday. So we are visiting either on this Friday or Saturday morning.
Okay, so do update Zainal because we also want to go and have a visit.
Okay.
Basically, I want to go. Like Zainal already been there for a few times. Friday or Saturday. So you have to make appointment with them, or you can just go there between the 2 days.
They allow us to go on Saturday morning, but we are not sure yet. Either we are going on Friday afternoon or Saturday morning. So need to discuss with the teammate first.
Don't worry, you might need both days, Pun. It will take more than just one evening to finish. So you can just go both days. Try your best. If you have like any time, just go there and finish the work. Do it as soon as possible. Because you don't know what happened next, suddenly PKP lagi ke, who knows, and so complete as soon as possible, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you. So yang pending is group, I think group 2 might be okay. Group 5, depends. Hopefully if they can give maybe parts of it, you can try to discuss with Azalina also. Maybe certain sections ke, I pun tak sure. Okay,